here we are at the White House with the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, welcoming most of North Dakota today. Well, at least our national champion Bison. Thank you for that.
Well, it was an honor, and I'll tell you, that's a great team. And I just met some very large people and great people and champions. Most importantly, they're great champions, and you can be very proud. And when I heard about this, actually, John Hoeven came in and Kevin Kramer, and they wanted to know if we could host. We held a beautiful little ceremony for Clemson, as you know, and national champions. And I said, absolutely, because I happened to see that final game. And I said, that team is good. That's a good team from North Dakota. And I also love the state. I love the people of the state. We've had great luck there. I was very happy to see Kevin get elected in a very big sweep. He really did a great job. So you have two great senators, and you now have a really wonderful congressman. And your governors, I mean, you've got a great group of people, and it's a very special place.
Well, you know, we battle West Virginia for the highest approval for the Trump administration.
I know you do. You do. But I was there a lot, and I like the state. I like the people a lot.
They like you. I talk to them every day. I have a program that covers most of the upper Midwest, but a lot of our listeners are in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. Right. And 2.5 hours a day, and you can get a pretty good pulse on the people. And I have to tell you, they are irritated at the swamp. Because it fails to give you the credit you deserve for the policies and really have your back in many, many ways. I hope you know that. Let me ask you what...
And I do know that about North Dakota. I do, actually. And it is a swamp, and it's a disgrace when you look at all these witch hunts and there's nothing with Russia. So now you probably heard the Senator Burr came out from Senate Intelligence. He said, we see nothing, no collusion. This is after 2 years. We see no collusion. There is no collusion. And they knew there was no collusion 2 years ago. It's all a hoax. And the people of North Dakota know it, and frankly, the people of the country know it. The Democrats know it too, but they just don't want to say it.
Which accomplishment of yours do you think is most underreported? Well, I mean, if you had to pick one where you're really getting the raw deal, what would it be?
Well, I'd say the economy. You know, we're setting records every day, and you never hear anything about it on television. I mean, look at how well North Dakota's doing. You've had very bad days before me. The economy is doing phenomenally. Unemployment's at the all-time low. You look at Hispanic or African American or Asian or women or so many others. I mean, historic lows. And, I think the economy would be a thing that's not very reported. But they don't report anything if it's positive. They don't report. And if it is positive, they try and make it negative. So we have a very negative press. But fortunately, we have a brilliant population that understands it, or I wouldn't be standing here talking to you.
One area that hasn't gone so well of late is the farm economy. And farmers and ranchers are in a world of hurt, prices, and obviously a little tumult with the trade negotiations. I hear nibbles of good news. What do you want the farmers and ranchers of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota to know?
Well, first of all, they're great patriots, and they are with me all the way. They know we've been taken advantage of by China in particular, but by many countries, not just China. We're doing Mexico, we're doing Canada. I mean, Canada's been really taking advantage of this country for many years. People just didn't know it. But China is the big one, and we are being very tough on China with billions and billions of dollars of tariffs and lots of other things. Their economy is not good right now. I guess a lot of people would blame me for that because the Chinese economy is not good because people are realizing they're going to have to pay up. And the biggest beneficiary is going to be the farmer. And the farmers know that. In fact, just a meeting last week with the vice premier of China, he said he's going to buy tremendous amounts of soybean, even before we do the deal. You probably heard about that. I hope you did through Sonny, who's Sonny Perdue, your great agricultural commissioner, secretary. He's been so fantastic. So we're taking care of our farmers. But what I love about the farmers, they said, we know that it's been a horrible thing, Mr. President. Set it right. We'll sort of suffer through this with you. And they stopped buying and everything else. They want to make a deal so badly you wouldn't believe it. And so we'll see what happens. But they're already back buying from our farmers. And if we get the deal done, it will be purchases like never in our history, not even close.
One final question for you about the wall. I got an email this morning or text this morning from John in Carrington, North Dakota. And John said, tell the president we have a company by the name of Fisher Industries could build that wall a mile a day. And you have a letter from, or you don't have a letter, but your Homeland Security Secretary does. Kirsten Nielsen has a letter from Senator Kramer saying the Corps is setting you up for failure, essentially, that they're not building this wall fast enough, and now they've shut down till November, and this company's ready to go. And again, everybody's worried that, the typical government bureaucracy, sort of like that ice rink in Central Park.
That's right. That was a good one. We did it in 3 months, and it was under construction for 8 years. And it's a very similar thing here. Well, I will say this. The Corps is working very hard. It is a different kind of a thing. We're buying at a much better clip. I want to take a look at that letter because I agree with you. I think you could do it much faster. But the Corps is working very, very hard. And it's all intertwined with everything else. And it is more complicated, actually, than just a wall. We had to do certain things. We had to hold back rivers, like in the Rio Grande. We had to hold back waters and a lot of different things. So we had to build small dams all over the place. But we are actually doing a lot, and we're going to have a couple of 100 miles built in the not-too-distant future. We're really moving along quickly. But I'm going to take a look at that letter because, you know what, if I can get somebody in there that could really do something very quickly, I'm okay with that. And I'll bet you that person could, because I agree with that person.
They were about one of 7 of the finalists, so they're a respectable company doing it in many other places.
I want to take a look at that letter. If you would get it to me, I would like it.
I might have brought it along for you.
Good. But give it to me. Don't give it to somebody else. Give it to somebody else, I won't get it.
I understand how that works. Anyway, thanks again for your love for North Dakota. We appreciate that very much, and for hosting this team.
Good. Thank you, and I love the team. What a group of people.
Take care.
What a group of people. Great champions. Thank you very much. It's an honor to have them at the White House. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
And thank you, Scott. You've been such a good friend. Appreciate it.